Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break with Card, La Hora de Cafecito Sister Show. My name is Lourdes Quinones, and I would like to welcome you to the show. Coffee Break with Card is a program dedicated to all those in our community who are living with autism, to their family members, and to all those who support them. So come on in, join us at the table, sign in on the comment section below, and let us know if you're having a cup of coffee with us. We'd love to say hello to you. In today's program, we're going to be talking about some considerations and ideas for Christmas gifts. If you have a loved one with autism and don't know what to get them this Christmas or holiday season, then join us. We have a lot of gift ideas we want to talk to you about. But let's start by introducing to you your coffee break hostesses for today. As I mentioned, my name is Lourdes Quinones. I am a card consultant assigned to the primary age group, and professionally, I'm a pediatric physical therapist as well as a special education teacher. I'm joined by my colleagues, Jasmine Castellanos. Buenos dias, Jasmine.
Buenos días. Good morning, everybody.
And Olivia McDonald. Buenos dias, Olivia.
Buenos dias, Lourdes. Good morning, everybody.
As you know, Jasmine Castellano is an excellent professional in the field of mental health, is a card consultant assigned to the middle and high school age group, and is a mother of three, one of whom is diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Olivia McDonald is an excellent professional in the field of public health, is a card consultant assigned to the primary age group, just like me, and is a mother of two beautiful kids and has a younger brother diagnosed with autism. So welcome to the show, Olivia.
Thank you, Lourdes.
But before we get started, we want to review the rules by which we want to adhere to during this programming to ensure a safe environment for all of us. Remember to keep an open mind, positive attitude, and to use respectful language. And Olivia, before starting, can we greet our audience? Is there someone we want to greet? Do we have comments, anything?
Yes, I want to say good morning. I don't know. Well, good morning again to Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
He's really upping his competition of like, oh, I'll watch the Spanish one and the English one.
Yeah, yes.
But also good morning to my mom, Filomena. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Filomena. How are you? Merry Christmas and
Yes.
holidays, happy holidays, everything.
To Giselle, who I think gave us a like on the last show, so thank you again.
Thank you, Giselle.
And to Mary Elizabeth. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the show. We really enjoyed having guests. So be sure to make comments and let us know if you have any ideas for gifts. And if you have the link, that will be even better, or a little picture. And let us know the age group of the person that you gave that and was a hit, a total hit. We always like to share ideas with our audience, okay? Okay, so let's get started. And as you know, as I mentioned before in today's program, we are going to be talking about some considerations and gift ideas for loved ones with autism. So join us. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to be presenting the ideas, and my colleagues Olivia and Jasmine are going to be asking me my questions. Okay, so let's get started.
Perfect. So let's get started. Lourdes, so if you could please tell us what are some of the considerations we need to keep in mind before buying the gift for someone with autism?
Okay, awesome. So if we can go to the second slide. So we know that when we give out gifts for our loved ones with autism, sometimes we're wondering, did they like it? Sometimes it's pretty obvious that they did or didn't, or at least we think it's obvious. And especially if we think they didn't like it, where sometimes it may actually not be so clear cut, right? So if you're a parent of a young child, for example, and you're buying gifts for them, Sometimes you may feel that it's not so difficult because they have their things they like to play with, and so that may be easier for you. But if your loved one with autism is an adult and it's living away from the home, that may become a little iffy, right? Um, so you may find it more difficult to choose a gift, and perhaps you feel overwhelmed at the thought of not knowing what to get them, especially if in the past, like I mentioned, they did not respond to your gift as you had hoped. But we have to remember that autism affects the social area. So that's the first consideration that I would say that we have to consider. Um, we know that individuals with autism may not know the actual social cues that um, may be a consideration when receiving a gift. So, first of all, don't take it personal, because maybe they don't know how to react, right, when receiving a gift. Or maybe even if they did like it or didn't like it, they can't hide it in their face, right? It's so obvious. Again, because of not being familiar with the social rules that, maybe an etiquette on how to, you know, be gracious about receiving a gift, right? But also we need to remember that the holidays are super sensorial, and that may be impacting them as they receive the gift. So maybe it has nothing to do with the gift at all. So again, don't take it personal. Don't assume that he or she didn't like the gift because, for example, we know that during this time of the holidays, there might be a lot of Christmas lights, a lot of smells. For example, um, a lot of cinnamon smells, and candles are being used, and those plugins for the wall and whatever. That may be overwhelming them if they happen to be hypersensitive to those senses, right? Or the lights of the trees, the sounds. We tend to be very loud when we are in gatherings, right? Most people do. So those things may be affecting them. And just to review in the next slide, what hyper and hyposensitivity is. Well, hypersensitivity has to do with a low tolerance to sensory information. Now, that doesn't have to be in all their senses, but it could be some of their senses. For example, they might be hypersensitive to the auditory input and all the Christmas music that is going on, all the sounds of, people talking loud and all that stuff, especially at gatherings. So those things may be way too much because they're going to tend to avoid it or be overwhelmed by it. So that may be influencing whether or not they seem to like a gift or not. Whereas hyposensitivity is actually a high tolerance for those things. So they might be just needing that extra input for the hyposensitivity. So keeping that in mind, they, just a reminder that during the holidays, those things may be impacting them and try to alleviate it. And so we maybe have some suggestions for ideas for that.
Thank you. Those are great points, Lourdes. So speaking about gift ideas, what suggestions do you have that would appeal for the sense of touch?
Okay, so for the sense of touch, I would have to say we can go to the next page. Yep. There's a lot of handling things that they can manipulate. For example, the kinetic. I love the idea of the kinetic sand. You can have in either a shoebox full of that, or even those tables that they have for playing sand play, where you can hide things in there, little manipulatives that they can find it. And what I like about it with the kinetic sand, they stick together. It's like they're magnetized, so you don't have the mess as working with sand. So a lot of our loved ones with autism may like that sense of the sand, and you can have it indoors or in your porch if you have an enclosed porch or whatever. Then they can play with that and not necessarily make a mess. There's always Play-Doh, of course, which is a great fine motor manipulative. I love using that. Therapeutically, we also use one that is like it's called therapody because it has different levels of strengthening the inner muscles of the hand. So that also helps with the fine motor skills. And then you have like slime and stuff like that. Next page. And those are very sensorial and they love enjoying that. Also remember that there's many manipulatives, and we're going to show these and more that are good. And this, I always recommend parents to carry, just like when there were babies, we would carry, especially the younger ages, we would carry the diaper bag with us everywhere we went. Having this manipulatives in a bag that they can have with them wherever you go. So if it's just boring place or it's something that maybe overwhelming to them, having this in a bag when you go shopping, when you go to a doctor's office, when you go anywhere they have to wait, it keeps them busy. Don't let them have access to this bag all the time, but you can let them have it when you need it to go out on the outside. It helps calm them. It might be, if they're hypersensitive in the sound, it might be good to have in this bag stuff to cover their ears, which we're going to talk about in a second. But that's one of them. Go ahead, the next one. The jewelry for manipulation. So a lot of times they might have that tendency to put everything in their mouth, and so having safe jewelry that they can do to get that oral satisfaction of being chewing on something, or and to help to regulate their system, um, it's a great idea. So having many choices for them, it's also prudent because you need to wash them, you need to put them away, and stuff like that. Well, so they can have a replacement. The next one. And of course, age appropriately, the jewelry that it can be used for fidgeting. So for example, if they're getting anxious somewhere or they're bored or something, they could be manipulating these jewelry, which they move. They have parts in them that moves, that fidget. So it's like fidget, but it's appropriate. It's not so obvious to everyone what it is. It looks beautiful, and they even have it for men. Can you next one? They even have jewelry for men. So this is age appropriate. It's a fidget, and it's again, it's very conspicuous. You don't have to be advertising that you're anxious or anything like that. And then you can still be fidgeting with something. Next, I think. Is it next? Or are we done? I think that was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lourdes, if you
Oh, the
can
pillowcases.
if you can talk to us about what are your ideas for the proprioceptive sense.
Yes. So for the proprioceptive sense, again, proprioception has to do with connections inside our joints, and even on our muscles. We can feel a movement. We can feel when we are in space. So it gives us body and space awareness. So a lot of individuals with autism enjoy, and even neurotypicals enjoy that feeling of pressure to feeling, especially because of their low tonicity. So it helps for them to feel them, to ground them, to give them a sense of where I am in space. So they have weighted blankets, and the middle one I love because it's a weighted blanket, but it doesn't look like a weighted blanket. So it's more age appropriate. You have those stretchy, they can even put it over their head. And that simulates being in the womb. So where the fetus has the opportunity to push against the uterine wall, and just the little gives that pressure back. So it sort of simulates that. It gives that joint compression, which comes down the system, the nervous system. Next page. So this is another version of that, but in this one in particular, they are it's very lightweight, it's breathable, and so they can sleep the whole night and almost feeling like they're being and they have it in adult size too, that you're being compressed without being suffocating. Like maybe the heaviness of a weighted blanket might be too much for them. And what I like about it is that if being inside the little sack, it's not for the individual, they have it for adult and for children. You have something like a blanket to put over. This one has a hoodie, the last one on the right, and they can just wrap themselves and still feel that pressure without being overwhelmed too much, like claustrophobic. Next.
I was going to add, they also have half body versions of these two.
Oh yeah,
if you
yeah.
only want the pressure up here. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then, of course, we know again the weighted blanket, but we also know the compression shirts. They even make compression pants, so they can be wearing these underneath their clothing and feel that sense of um, of being compressed all day long. And then you also have, this is a new one that I found that it was so great. It's it wraps around. It's almost like a half um sábana. No, ¿cómo se llama?
A blanket.
Sábana. No, it's not the blanket, the sheets for the bed. Sorry. The sheets for for the bed. And it's so it's going under the mattress. So you wrap it around the mat, but then the individual, whether adult or child, can get in as a child. It almost looks like it's over their shoulder, but it's actually being pulled by it's not going to come off the bed. So they're getting that pressure, but it's like being under a sheet. Okay. And finally, then I love the sensory deep pressure that the massagers give. So I like the one to put over the shoulders and get that muscular relaxation on the neck and the shoulders, where we know most everyone carries their tension, especially when they're stressed. So being able to relax that area is wonderful. The hand massagers, which the individual can do themselves, or as a parent, you can do for your child. And then the last one is really to promote circulation in the legs. But what I like about it is that it gives you that compression feeling as well. And it's automatic, so it'll blow up and then down. So it goes on and off, and gives that extra stimulus of compression. That's it.
I think that's it for that. So oh
No, keep going.
no, I think we may have skipped a section in the PowerPoint, but
Okay.
it's for my question was going to be about what ideas do you have for, to appeal to the sense of vision. Let me stop sharing it for a second. Let me see if it got moved to another part.
I think the last one that I sent you. I may have. I have it. You want me to share it?
Yes, if you want to go ahead and share.
Okay. Share the screen. Share screen. Okay. Window. Right here. Okay. Share. Okay. I just have to slideshow. From current slide. Okay. So we did that. Sorry. We did that.
The joys of technologies.
Yes. All right. So for the sense of vision, I was able, believe it or not, in on Amazon they have a great selection. If you input your search, neurodivergent gifts ideas or gift ideas for autism, they have a section. They'll pull up all this stuff, and I was able to find some things. And I love the first one here, which are these gloves that glow in the dark and have different colors and change different colors. And that is for me. I think it's going to be a very delightful gift, because the individual, the child, would be able to play with that and the colors in the dark and all this stuff. The middle one I adore because it's a dome and it has a control that you can change the settings, and it has dinosaurs. It has aqua fish and all this stuff, animals of the water kingdom. Anyway, and it has different things that they can put in. It has music or off music, so I like that. It gives an opportunity to create a very nice sensory room. For example, they can go in the room and you can turn the lights off, and they can take a sensory break during the day when they're feeling overwhelmed, if they're home, or at night. It will help for them to just stay in their bed and maybe relax until they fall asleep. And then you have this almost like lava lamps, and these like it's different shapes of what's inside, the glitter, the colorful fish, and so on, and the volcano. So they get to turn it, so they're in control of what they're watching. So I really like that a lot. And then they also had this thing of I love this one here. They're creating their own fidgets. They're creating fidgets. It's almost like a Lego thing, but it's glow in the dark. So they can make and they have different boxes. So they have different types of items that they can create, but they're all they glow in the dark. So not only are they working on as a brain activity, but it's also manipulative, and it's for the sense of vision. I love that. And of course they have this things to add to the wall, and then they touch it and change the colors, and they have also a monitor on that. That's it. I
So,
think that's the last one for that.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Yasmin.
okay, so do you have any suggestions for like vision, all those
The hearing.
hearing, vestibular sense?
Yes. Yes. So again, this is going back. We kind of skipped this one on the touch. I love this little pillows. I didn't want to just go in there without going through that. And so we did the vision. I'm sorry. It's going. Okay. So for deep pressure, again, we did the deep pressure. This is all out of whack. Sorry. I thought I had the vision. See, it's double. There's it, the hearing. Okay, for the hearing, we talked about the hearing before, but the plugins, the noise cancellations, this ones here, they don't completely eliminate sound. But what I like about the last one is the fact that I'll get to your vestibular question. Is what I like about it is that it does cancel enough to where they can still hear, but they can subdue the noise. And of course, being able to integrate in the community without calling too much attention. That was wonderful. So the vestibular activities that I love to do, the trampoline, because again, it's giving them that sense. It's moving their vestibular system, which is inside the ears, in the space, right? And the swings, they enjoy swings a lot, because of the fact that, again, it's moving that vestibular system in through the space. I always say to parents if your child suffers from seizures, be mindful that maintaining a rhythm without interruption might become like a strobe effect because they're looking at something and not looking at something far away and looking at something far. And so the trick to doing that is jolting them a little bit. So if you're pushing them on the swing, then stop it or teach them to stop, and give themselves and their brain an opportunity. A ball is always great because they can use it for sit down activities where they're working on manipulatives, whether that's homework or they're doing an activity, tabletop activity, and yet they could still move and then calm down and then continue with their activity. And of course, a chair, a rocking chair, because again, it's giving them that sense of movement. It's moving their vestibular system through space without overwhelming them. And then this one I love, for especially adults, but it's the sensory deprivation, and they have places where you would go, and the water makes you float. It has minerals in it that makes you float. So whether you know how to swim or not, it will make you float. And they have an open pool, and they also have something like a cocoon that can be closed or kept open. And that one is total sensory deprivation because it would take away the vision, it would take away the auditory because you're floating, and it would take away that proprioceptive. It just gives you a sense of floating. And so it's a great sensory activity. I've done it myself and it feels amazing. It feels amazing. And again, there's a choice of either closing the the dome or the cocoon, or leaving it open, or there's an open pool for those who might be claustrophobic and don't want to try it, where that's exactly how you do it. And open, it's an open pool and you're in a private room, but it's an amazing experience.
Okay. Um, is there anything else that you would like to share? I mean, there's all these great gift ideas, but
Yeah, I know.
you have
Well,
more?
actually, I do, because then we go into what it would be more of a practical gift. If you haven't been able to find something that you think your loved ones will want to do, then what I would say is that um, we would definitely want to do practical gifts. And I'm sorry, this is moving out of sequence again. I don't know what is happening, but we're having, oh no, the one before. We're having technical difficulties. This was not like that for the previous show. But
It's
anyway,
it's going to happen on the last show of the year.
of course it's going to happen. Yeah, because why not? But anyway, memberships and yearly passes. Oh my God, that's such a great idea. I got this from a mom, at one of the recent events, public awareness events that I was hosting, and she said, one of the, because I was telling her what the show was going to be about and that we were looking for ideas from our audience, and she said, you know what, something that is great that I find great that works with my child is yearly passes. Because sometimes he may just want to go for a little bit and just go do that and whatever, but it gives us a break from the day, and we're able to finish that activity up and go as many times throughout the year that he wants to go, and get out of the house. So it doesn't have to be like an all day affair, but it can be something that it can be done in spurts, and it's always available. And I thought that's a wonderful, wonderful idea. And of course, we know in our local area, we have the Florida Aquarium, we have the Children's Museum, whether in the Great Explorations in St. Pete or Pinellas County, or Glacier Children's Museum right here in Tampa, Hillsborough County. And we have also the Tampa Zoo, the Laurie Park Zoo. And we have Busch Gardens, we have Adventure Island, and of course, Orlando being so close, we have all those uh, Universal and Disney parks to include Legoland. So if your loved one loves Legos, that will be an ideal place for them to go. And finally, another one, if you're just running out of ideas, you just think that, this is not working. I don't think they're going to do it. There's always gift cards, which it's or cash. But if you feel bad about giving just plain cash, a gift card would do it. And it could be a gift card to their favorite restaurant, or it could be for playing any of the games that they play on their tablets or computers, and maybe even memberships to those things that they really like. For example, games. I know that sometimes they need to have a membership to be able to access some games and all this stuff. So those are always available in a great choice of gift that is not going to go um, to waste, I'm sure. And so lastly here, the resources that we put together, we'll make sure to organize this PowerPoint. I know that I did this. I started after it was done, I started adding more stuff last night. So I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. So I hope everybody loved it. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. If you celebrate any other holiday, I really, really hope that you liked it. Let me stop sharing. Um,
There you go, Lourdes.
you got it?
Yeah.
You got me out? Good. Excellent. Thank you. Anyway, so those of you who are watching us, if you have any comments, any ideas, make sure you share them right there in the comment section. So you know that we love to say and share whatever ideas you give us. If we do a show in the future based on your idea or suggestion, we'll be sure to give you the credit for doing that. And also may just do more than one show based on that. So thank you for always sharing that. And speaking of that, do we have comments or anyone to say hi to at this point?
Yeah, no comments or questions, but I did want to say thank you to Mandy for giving us giving our show some love. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So, but if you're coming to this after we go off the air, don't forget to go ahead and add. Your idea might help out someone else. So that gift that really worked for you, that idea that really worked for you, like this mom who mentioned the thing about the annual passes, it may just help someone else. So we really appreciate your comments and suggestions. So we're almost at the end of the show, but I didn't want to leave without, first of all, thanking you, our audience, for being here, for participating, and for giving us gift ideas, and for also coming on to see us again next year. This is our last show of the year. You know that we're coming in the air the third Friday of the month, except that this month we came earlier because a lot of people are going on vacation next week. And also in January, we'll have to come on instead of the third Friday, we'll have to come on the air on the fourth Friday, which will be the January 23rd, because on the 16th, we are going to be in Orlando, our CAR conference. And Olivia, if you want to share a little bit more about the CAR conference, the English side, and then you can, Jasmine, share about HISPA.
Yeah, so it's a conference geared for people with autism and also their loved ones and the professionals who help to provide them services. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yes.
Again, all ages as well. Like we have an adult track for the adults, but we also have topics that are more like on the or like early identification or just starting out. Yasmin and I are going to be presenting at the conference, so you can see that too. And there's also on Friday, there's the HISPA track, which is completely in Spanish. And if you want to share a little bit more, Yasmin.
Yes, so on Friday we're gonna have the conference in Spanish. is HISPA, and it will start around 1, but we're asking for people to arrive like around noon for the registration and all that. And we're going to have a lot of different topics from professionals, of course. We're going to talk about the child development. We're going to talk about the uh, connection between autism and neurology, excuse me, or the brain. We're going to talk about the 504 and IEP, and that's going to be in English and Spanish. So also in the CARD conference in English, we will be having that topic as well. We're going to talk about transition to the adult life. We have a lot of different topics, very, very informative with a lot of resources. And the HISPA is going to have like Spanish parents get together. Now the English parents are more than welcome, of course. So we can have like that get together and just kind of vent, connect, have a little bit of relaxed time, and why not?
Yes, awesome. And I also wanted to let for those of you who have been attending the conference for years, you know that Friday, when PEPSA, which no longer is no longer being funded, was paying for. Friday. So it was known as PEPSA Day, Teacher Educator Day. Although that's not happening, I want people to be. PEPSA is no longer around. I wanted you to know that Friday is still for educators. So please attend because we have changed the format. To be able to continue to provide those because we provide CEUs, and CEs for educators. So be sure to be there. Again, the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday until midday on Sunday is the conference, and there will be both English and Spanish um, sessions going on. And again, it's for parents, it's for educators, it's for individuals with autism, and it's for all those PTs, OTs, and SLPs, and other providers, even ABA providers who want to have that experience, come together with families and individuals with autism and also get their CEs or CEUs. So be sure to be there, okay? But that brings us to the end of the show. Now that we share that information, be sure to keep track of our Facebook page where more information on the conference will be provided throughout this period. So be sure to follow that, okay? But like always, I wanted to also ask you for a little favor, like every Friday, that is to go ahead and go in there and the link that we're going to add to give us a grade our processes, everything that we have done. If this kind of programming is important to you, this is the way that we can justify the time that it takes us to come on the air and stay on the air and be here with you. So this is what keeps the lights on. On the show. So please, even if you've done it before, 6 questions real quick. We need one every time we go on the air. So thank you ahead of time. But before we go, I want to wish you a happy holiday season for you and your family. It's a wonderful new year. We will see you again in 2026. I can't believe this year is almost over. It just flew by. Of course, that means I'm getting younger. Because I'm going backwards. But anyway, so don't forget to give us a like, share this video with all those who can benefit from this type of programming and on your page. And also be sure to meet us here in January on January 23rd, although moving forward after that, it's the third Friday of the month. Okay. So we can share a cup of coffee with you as well as spill the beans on important topics related to autism. So until then, we want to wish you good vibes and hot
Hot
coffee.
coffee.
See you
Bye,
then. Bye bye.
everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.
See you.